大家好，上期视频我给大家介绍了台积电效应唤醒了世界著名的芯片生产企业英特尔，并以英特尔即将重新挑战芯片的技术难点，重新设计产品路线出发，看到了在未来世界高端芯片领域所出现的三国杀。有人会说台积电、三星和英特尔的激烈厮杀，最后鹿死谁手很难确定，势必会造成芯片领域里的血流成河。但我个人认为现在在芯片产业里共有近100家企业在相互角逐，而未来被淘汰的企业必然将达到70%以上，而最后能留下来的也许恰恰是这3家，而正是由于他们之间的彼此竞争，反而提高了生产芯片的技术门槛，尤其是投资门槛，让那些技术力量薄弱、生产工艺落后、投资规模偏低的企业会自然被淘汰出局。下面让我们来分析一下英特尔近期在全球各地所采取的芯片扩容和巨大规模的投资。众所周知，英特尔除了在东南亚布局，并且在印度尼西亚投资了70亿美元之外，他接下来就与台积电在亚利桑那州展开了激烈的角逐，同时他也在亚利桑那州投资了200亿美元建设2座晶圆厂。与此同时英特尔在2022年的1月22日同时宣布，在美国的俄亥俄州也投资了200亿美元，又建设了2座晶圆厂。另外，在2022年的2月份，英特尔还宣布以54亿美元收购了高塔半导体公司，以弥补部分业务短板和完善代工生态。除此之外，在全球范围内，英特尔还对欧洲的爱尔兰和德国的晶圆厂进行了大量的投资，并且保留了其收购的高塔半导体在日本的分公司。这样算起来在未来的几年内，英特尔即将投资建设的8座晶圆厂，其投资总额达到了1000亿美元。1000亿美元是一个什么概念？另外就是英特尔这样严谨的公司，他会拿1000亿美元去打水漂吗？很显然，像英特尔这样的老牌公司，一定是经过周密的测算，并且对未来5至20年内的芯片产业有了明确的规划。在此情景下，他们才会下如此重注。尤其值得注意的是这也是他们同时分析了台积电、三星等大规模投资的基础上进行的投资决策。应该说，未来的市场虽然会大幅度的增加，但毕竟市场还是有限的。那么这3大巨头同时加大投资，将会击垮哪些企业呢？这也给我们留下了一个深刻的思考。但无论如何我还是认为英特尔、台积电、三星这样的企业都还是有一些靠谱的。这并非是我个人的偏见。记得多年以前我在为一家品牌公司做策划，顺便接触了一下世界品牌的 LV 和 GUCCI 这几家公司。他们给我传递了这样一组信息，即这些公司的投资都是有长期战略规划的，并且他们是按照投资地区的长期等待而去进行投资的，可谓是短缺市场中的选择。所以他们的投资有着严密的风险管理，很少出现失误，更不会出现烂尾现象。反而我们从这些知名企业对未来芯片产业的投资中，略微的看到了中国芯片产业未来所面临的严峻形势。不知道我这种想法是不是有点为人耸听，或者是杞人忧天呢？毕竟市场是由行动说了算的，而不是由嘴说了算的。为了进一步弄清楚英特尔公司在未来的投资布局，我们接着再看一段视频。
A short 3 years after raising an initial funding round of just $2.5 million, Intel went public with a market cap of $58 million. Building a fab today takes at least 2 years and $10 billion. So huge companies like Apple, Qualcomm, and Nvidia decided not to build fabs, but rather to outsource the expensive, highly specialized manufacturing process to companies like TSMC, which focuses only on its foundry business, making chips for others.
And this has allowed TSM to not only catch up, but in my opinion, surpass Intel to become the world's greatest manufacturing technology on the planet.
Despite the wild success of companies that decided to focus on designing chips, like Apple, or only making chips, like TSMC, Intel still does it all. That makes it an integrated device manufacturer, or IDM. Keyvan Esfarjani joined Intel in 1996. Now he runs manufacturing and supply chain operations.
Advanced equipment capabilities are becoming more expensive. You got to get it right, otherwise it could be very, very costly.
Since Andy Grove retired in 1998, Intel has seen a series of chief executives who have gone back and forth about how much the company should focus on the costly manufacturing end of the chip business. The most recent turnover happened in February when Bob Swan was replaced by Pat Gelsinger, who started at Intel in the 70s at age 18.
30 years at the company. I mean, I joke, I went through puberty. I started at Intel so young.
At age 25, Gelsinger led the architecture of the 486 processor, then rose to Chief Technology Officer by 2001. He left in 2009, and after leading VMware as CEO for nearly 9 years, returned to run Intel this year.
We needed a technology leader to help reestablish the technology company, this company that essentially put the silicon in Silicon Valley.
Gelsinger's made some major moves since he took the helm, most notably the decision to double down on manufacturing. For decades, the markets have rewarded giants like Apple and Qualcomm for being fabless. But the chip shortage has made manufacturing chips a more attractive business, allowing TSMC, for example, to raise chip prices as much as 20%.
It takes time to build this infrastructure. But the good news is the world is rallying behind building additional capacity.
Intel is adding capacity by building a huge new fab at its massive campus outside Portland, Oregon.
D1X Mod 3 is about 250,000 square foot per level of the building.
We got an exclusive first look inside the expansion called D1X Mod 3.
And what exactly are you manufacturing?
We're manufacturing the latest generation of microprocessors for Intel and working to enable Intel's accelerated
2025, Intel says it will surpass the chip-making capabilities of both TSMC and Samsung.
We are on a march for yearly innovation, setting a pace for ourselves and the industry to not only get back, but to get ahead again.
Why should anyone trust Intel again? And so Intel will have to make a bunch of promises, both verbally and financially, in my opinion at least, to get anyone to listen.
Intel has 15 fabs all over the world: China, Israel, Ireland, and the US, in Oregon, Arizona, New Mexico, and Massachusetts. It has assembly and test sites in Vietnam, Malaysia, Costa Rica, and China and the US. It says it makes 8,000 products, outputting 2 billion units a year for some 2,000 customers. Now it's expanding that production specifically in the US and Europe. It's got a major fab expansion underway in Ireland and is reportedly in talks for projects in Italy and Germany.
Doubling down in its capacity requirement to support the growing needs of the customers around the world is absolutely a significant responsibility of what Intel's got to go drive.
And in March, Intel announced it's spending $20 billion to build 2 huge new fabs in Chandler, Arizona. It broke ground in September this year, with plans to output chips for PCs and data centers by 2024.
It's a very long time to build the concrete, the chemical delivery, the electrical systems. All of this needs to be perfect for a fab to run, for something that's creating lines and dimensions that are 10,000 times smaller than your hair.
When we toured the fab project in Oregon, semi-trucks were dropping off some of the 1,200 massive tools used to make the chips.
All of our tools tend to be in the millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. They weigh anywhere from 10,000 pounds to 100,000 pounds.
We also got a rare look inside the fab's bustling clean rooms, donning bunny suits that help keep dust and other particles away from the minuscule circuitry on the chips.
We are talking about clean room that is 10,000 times cleaner than a heart surgery room.
It's about the equivalent of about 20 American football fields is the amount of space we have here, which is clean room space.
It's filled with yellow light to prevent exposing the chips to shorter wavelengths of light than the lithography machines use to print designs on the chips.
We have different chemistries and gases that we use to make our chips here at Intel, and we segregate those exhaust streams into these ducts you see here and are subsequently treated so that we're environmentally responsible in providing clean air coming out of our factories.
Making chips also takes a massive amount of water, not a plentiful resource in the Arizona desert.
We're currently out at the Ronler Acres water treatment facility, where today we've reclaimed over 2 billion gallons of water and reused back into our manufacturing systems and process.
We utilize approximately 9 million gallons a day, and we conserve about 95% of that.
The chips being made here are 10 nanometer, used in PCs and data centers. Only TSMC and Samsung can currently make 5 nanometer chips, the most advanced node on the market. In fact, Intel relies on TSMC to make a good number of its chips.
We are one of their key customers, and that collaboration continues.
To understand why Intel has chips made by one of its competitors it's trying to catch,